So, by now you've heard that the lockdown has been further extended. My name is Jared Kruger, and I am the head of education and operations here at the Startup School. And as I said, President Ramaphosa has made the tough but I think very wise decision to continue the good work that has been done so far to curb the spread of COVID 19. But the uncertainty of our times is being felt by us all here in South Africa, and probably, no, not probably, it's being felt all around the world. We don't know what's going to happen, and we don't know when there's going to be a vaccine. How will the pandemic impact South Africa now, in the future? Will the economy reboot, and if so, how? We don't know, and this video is not to try and provide any answers. But what I would like to talk to is the fact that I believe that entrepreneurs are going to play a significant, if not key role in unlocking the answer to this question: what is going to happen? We also know that there's great opportunity for all of us to learn to pull together in a time like this. Our common human spirit is alive, and it just cannot be taken away from us. And this is so important for us to hold dear right now. We should not underestimate the catastrophic effects and events that are going to come from this short term. You know, we've seen unemployment greatly rise. We are seeing it globally. Life in the 21st century will fundamentally change, and it's probably going to be forever. I believe that nations are going to start looking inwards and will focus on feeding and caring for their own. I think it's going to lead to a very swift focusing on local production, local produced goods. And this shift is going to be quite scary. But it's not the time to be fearful. It's the time to be courageous. And I think it's the time to contribute our entrepreneurial superpowers to solving the challenges the world of business and the world generally will face. We are going to come to the profound realization that social interactions, which we have largely taken for granted, I think, up until now, are to be cherished. Our world and the spirit of who we are is deeply rooted in our human engagement. And perhaps the next few months, or definitely the next few weeks, will be a time of contemplation for us to rethink our lives, the business ventures we're in, and, of course, our purpose. Let us not use this time poorly. Let's try and use it wisely and turn these reflections into positive and practical solutions. Now, all of this has some far-reaching implications on how business is going to come out the other side of this, because there will be the other side of this. Businesses are going to have to be very careful about wanting to just bounce back. I think you're going to have to think carefully about this. I do believe advertising and marketing, as we currently understand it, will be different. Brands, like humans, must rethink their roles and their purpose. It seems very likely that people are going to expect businesses to be a lot more philanthropic, partnering, sponsoring, teaching, and really incubating on behalf of their community, local and broadly speaking. Brand values will need to be shift away from self-indulgence, from the celebrity culture which we're seeing, this narcissism in the world, particularly in our leaders. We have to see a fundamental shift towards community and towards well-being. Now, the shift may actually be the reboot that we need, and I believe that it is. Regardless, though, the shift is happening, and we're going to have to either embrace it or we could despair it. And I think that what we need to be doing is embrace and engaging with it. COVID-19 is indeed a significant test for us all. It is changing the world, as I've said. How it changes, though, I believe is largely up to us. Now is the time for the entrepreneur. It is the time for the entrepreneur to step up, identify where you can help rebuild a resilient future, but it really has to be done applying the teachings that this global pandemic has given us, or is continuing to give us. I'd like to leave you with 3 questions that I think you should be engaging with as an entrepreneur continuously over the next weeks, months, and possibly years. Which train do you think is going to leave the station first? What I mean by this is, what are the trends? What are the emerging behaviors that we see shaping the future and ultimately the recovery from this pandemic? The second question is, how will your journey as an entrepreneur be affected by this? So you're on a journey, and we know as entrepreneurs that there needs to be a ability to be agile, to be able to move quickly and to adjust. This is really a great test for what your next move is. And then the third question to ask yourself is, what should you be positively focusing your energy on right now to ensure that you are business proof, future proof, and come out of this so much more strong than you are now? And of course, the word I've used a couple of times today is resilient. So that's my short message to everybody who follows us at the Startup School, and this is a message that we co-wrote all together.